moving around so much, bobblehead.
When are we gonna get another case, Sam? Surely the local lawbreakers must miss our esoteric brand of personalized criminal justice.
Patience is a sharp razor to swallow, little buddy. Okay, don't scream this time.
Ah, I got it! I got it! Hello?
Leave Swiss cheese by the rat hole, or you'll never see your precious phone alive again. Jiminy Christmas Eve in a padlocked sweatbox. Some misguidedly ballsy felons napped our phone.
Eerie. I just went cheese shopping. How did they know?
Be sure it's Swiss cheese, right? And be quick about it.
Ordinarily, I hate yielding to extortion, but I have to admit I'm half charmed by the sheer spunk of that oily little perp. Where'd you put the cheese, Max?
Gosh, it was hours ago. You know I have the memory of a dried trout.
Sadly, yes I do. Well, it's gotta be somewhere in this room.
Hello, you fine peoples of YouTube. Once again, I am Surratt, and it's time to continue the adventures of Sam and Max. Only this time now it's in a 3D world, and it's made by Telltale instead of Lucas. No, LucasArts anyway. So, you heard the beginning here. We have to give the rat Swiss cheese or we will never see our phone again. But first, let's take a quick gander around the office, the glorious 3D office here. That is what Telltale gave Sam and Max.
Last month's donuts.
Don't throw that out. I'm saving it for a science experiment.
You bet, little buddy.
And you notice as we look around,
I think Hubert could use some water, Max.
I'm training him to fetch it himself.
good luck with that the voices are completely different. Well, after the first game came out, it took over a decade for someone else to pick up the mantle and make more games featuring everyone's favorite misanthropic freelance police. But you can see that many things in this area are the same. I mean, we have a calendar, we have a desk, Max has a desk, we have a TV with a coat hanger antenna, we even have a VCR now. And there's a boxing glove sitting on the ledge, a dead plant here, the answering machine.
Nobody ever leaves us messages anymore.
Especially since there's no phone.
No dice.
And nothing in the wastebasket.
One of these days we're gonna finish that game.
I'm still working on getting the rest of the darts from the police impound.
So yeah, it's no longer vertical silverware storage, but in fact they use it for a dartboard now. A few new additions to the office, like this water cooler.
Hello, Mr. Spatula. How's the weather in there?
And of course, you know, probably not going to answer us.
Where's the rest of the news collection, Max?
It's a surprise.
And I really don't want that surprise. But let's get this.
This might come in handy.
Don't do that again.
Yeah, please don't do that again. You'll notice one major change from the original game. We don't have a multifaceted cursor anymore. Instead, we just have the standard cursor, which does everything. When you click on something, they will kind of pick best course of action for it, like this open window. We can just kind of look at it, look out of it, and kind of look around it. We can click anywhere to go back to the office, or we can look at this.
They say graffiti is the poetry of our time.
Just what we need. More lame poetry.
Yep, or we can look at that and notice graffiti. But that's about it outside, so let's take a look at everything else here.
Let me just fiddle with the reception here.
Put it back, Sam. Put it back.
There, that fixed it.
It would help if we actually turn on the
Life
TV.
troubling your digestion? Reality blocking your passages? Expel your troubles with Emetics, the handbook for multicolored happiness, and separate your bliss.
Hey, that's that personal color spectrum book.
Self-help for the helplessly selfish.
Perfect. I'll take 2.
I bought that VCR at the supermarket.
So you know it's a good one.
Still smells like asparagus, though.
Well, that's a downside. But the upside is fairly cheap VCR.
Someone once told me that the contents of a lava lamp make an excellent hand cream,
That was me.
which is why I haven't tried it.
Yep. But it is just wax, so you never.
Yes, I remember that case. Particularly gruesome. 20 years worth of electric belts take up a surprising amount of space.
And we can look at the bulletin board here.
When I got this thing, I thought it would be useful.
Where else would we keep the pieces of paper that we're never going to look at again?
And just a little, if you'll notice, that's the human enigma left over from the first game. And there's a little Sam and Max hand puppet. It's one of those old, small paper bag hand puppets where you put, all that. But that was an original arts and crafts project that was included in the instruction manual for Sam and Max Hit the Road. It's always neat to see what little references they added in here, like Jesse James's hand.
We should have Jesse James's hand appraised one of these days.
I bet it's especially valuable because it's autographed.
Very possible. Now let's see, this is important.
Good old Lou.
Who's Lou again?
The bowling ball, of course.
But yeah, if you want to move somewhere, you click anywhere in there, anywhere. If you want to look at something, pick something up, turn something on, you click on it. No more
No
hand, eye, fingers, or using a squeezy toy on it. You just click on it. But now the rat hole where the dirty rat was.
Yoo-hoo, tiny hoodlums.
Leave the cheese by the hole.
Okay. The last thing we have to click on in here, we will click on in a second, that is the door. Unfortunately, we can no longer click on Max's Roach Farm, sadly, or the empty box of Chinese food there, or this particular filing cabinet. But here's our new inventory slot. Right here. We click on that box, just like we did in the original game. But this time, instead of bringing up a whole separate window, it brings up a list of our items that, we have right here, and the cat is running around tearing things up. Just in case you're wondering what the background thumps and sounds are there. So let's look at the last thing in this office we have to really look at.
Aha!
Oh, there it is.
And there is the massive supply of cheese that Max managed to buy. So, let's try to grab one.
Unfortunately, this is not Swiss cheese.
So what?
So, the rat was very specific about wanting Swiss cheese in particular.
Now, this may seem like a problem. We may think we have to trade this cheese for other cheese, but no. Rats aren't that smart. So we will just
Take
shoot
that,
some
you
holes.
law-breaking dairy products.
Sam, no! The cheese was innocent!
Innocent? I think not.
And now we have Swiss cheese.
Voila, Swiss cheese. Or close enough to fool the casual observer, anyway.
Don't say voila.
And now the Swiss cheese is in our inventory, so we can put it by the rat hole.
Greetings. The members of the Benevolent Brotherhood of Vermin would like to thank you for your offering.
The members of Sam and Max would like their phone back now.
If you don't mind.
I regret to inform you the situation has changed, and I am unable to comply with your request. A list of additional demands for the return of the phone is as follows.
Now, let's discuss this calmly.
Let's debone the smarmy little skis and see if the phone's in there.
I ain't talking, coppers. Jimmy Two-Teeth ain't no rat. Well, I ain't talking.
So let's take a look here at the second gameplay element we have to deal with. Besides just the pointing and clicking at things, we get dialogues with people. A little bit different than original, but we can usually it will be just a list of things Sam can ask them. But in instances like this, Max will also join in. And right now, we can use Max to threaten him in various ways like this.
I'm about ready to wring your scrawny, trash-eating neck.
You think you're scary?
You don't know where his hands have been.
Or when I last washed them.
Who cares? I'm a rat, remember? Hey, Dogface, your partner's giving me a headache.
Hand over the phone or I'll make you lick my German-crusted palms.
Yeah, I've licked worse.
Like what?
You don't even want to know. Can I go now?
I'm thinking about stuffing a light bulb down your throat, Perp.
Go ahead. I've been a little hungry, amateurs.
Maybe I'll lock you in our file cabinet.
So,
In 3 separate drawers.
you bore me. Hey, Dogface, your partner's giving me a headache.
So you can see that really isn't working out too well. And as a matter of fact, none of the options we have now will actually get him to confess. But let's see if Sam, playing the good cop here,
We've met your demands, we got you the cheese. Any honorable rodent would hold up his end of the bargain and give back our phone.
Us rodents is not known for being particularly honorable.
Yep. So there's a problem. But notice how he kept talking about the headache. So let's clue into that.
You mentioned a headache. Would you like some aspirin? Oh, and while I'm at it, is there anything else I can do to make you comfortable? Are you thirsty, perhaps? Lights too bright?
Well, that's sporting of you. Now you mention it, I really don't like being up here so high. I got me a thing about heights. They make me nervous, you know?
Oh, really?
Oh, really, huh? Well, we get a new option for Max. I'll hang you out to dry.
Don't like heights, eh? How'd you like it if I dangled your greasy hide out the window?
Hey, you wouldn't.
Like I said, rats aren't too
Wait.
smart.
I warn you, I'm known for my fuzzy white butterfingers.
It's true. You should see him trying to tie an ascot.
All right, have mercy.
I've had mercy. It was unpleasantly gooey, like things that have fallen onto pavement from a great height.
I give up. Take your phone and let me go.
Ah, for the love of... I wish I could unsee that.
But you can't.
Hello? Yes? Great gouts of steaming magma on a beeline for the orphanage. We're on our way.
Yeah! Ow!
Where's the rat?
I let him go. Who was on the phone?
It was the commissioner, Max. Multiple reports of malfeasance in the neighborhood.
Oh, joy! That's my second favorite feasance.
Idiot. We've got to get down to the corner store right away.
So, that was basically the tutorial and get you kind of, set up for how to play the game. So let's head down to the corner store and what time I've got left for this video. Because we got things to look at on the way there. Most notably not that. But the place we have to go now is the corner store, so let's start walking that way. There are other things over here. Like this sign.
One way.
One way, dead end. Street signs are such fitting metaphors for the human condition.
Remind me to refill your prescriptions.
Something like that, yeah. So we walk around, and there's the trusty DeSoto right there. And here's a place called Sybil's. We will look in there later, but if you can read that sign, it used to be piercings and tattoos, now it's psychotherapy.
Look, Max. Liver and onions are in town.
I know! I can't wait! I love when they throw expired meat products at the crowd.
And let's go look at this other piece of graffiti over here.
They say graffiti is the poetry of our time.
Just what we need. More lame poetry.
And the posters, the ad posters
Looks
on the
like
wall.
there's going to be a lawnmower show.
Great! I love riding mowers. They're like golf carts with teeth.
I may have to turn that music down because it's drowning out Max there.
Looks like there's going to be a lawnmower show.
Great! I love riding mowers. They're like golf carts with teeth.
Indeed they are, Max. But the only other thing of note here is we've got a can of spray paint sitting out in the open.
Hey, a can of spray paint, and it's not even empty.
And if you notice, the license plate on that car said Con Man. But in any event, this is a good spot to stop the video. When we return, we meander our way down the street, look at things, avoid talking to people until we get to Bosco's, because if you remember from the original game, yes, there was Bosco's Inconvenience. That has been faithfully carried over to this game, even though the street's a little bigger, and there are a few more areas we will eventually have to explore. So, Definitely time to cut the video, so I will see everyone back next time for more Sam and Max, Freelance Police. Take care, folks. See you later.